put your hand, go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand, go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Every hustler getting paid. Where the hustle go come the pay. Your own in no go take. Amen. If you didn't find work, do your own. God self go do his own. And flesh go cover bone. Amen. Amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. 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 Everything you put your hand go on. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go on. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Sister where one man sings until where they fight begin. One day you go born twins. Amen. Amen. Tenant we don't losing job. Landlord come they do like God. One day you go be landlord. Amen. Amen. Good news go locate you. Watch and see it no go take. If you believe it, say amen. No. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go up. Your name go open.
There shall be open doors in the year 2022. That is what Timi Dakolo is saying there. It's the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. Let's look at some events that shaped Nigeria in 2021. I'll give you with dates. Let's start with January 2021. On the 26th of January, Mr. President changed his service chiefs. The President, Muhammad Buhari, appointed new service chiefs after the previous ones had served for nearly 6 years, the longest in recent history. You want to react to the interview with Saeed Ajadi? 0705 500949. Okay, you have, this is the Podium. You have to align with the program. 0705 500949 and 0809 700949. Did you follow that interview? Right. Well, you get your calls coming. Let's look at those events I said that shaped Nigeria in 2021. Remember, I started with the January 26th service chief change. The former chiefs were the Chief of Defense Staff Abayomi Oloni Shakin. We had Tuko Buratai and as the Chief of Army Staff, and the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibokibas, and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. These guys were changed, and then we had new set of service chiefs. Unfortunately, one of them later passed on. On the 17th of February 2021, bandits attacked a school in Kagara in Niger State, abducting 27 students and killing one pupil in the process. This will be the first major attack on a school in 2021. We also have the February 26th abduction of the Jangebe students. Bandits abducted 279 schoolgirls at the Government Girls College, Government Girls Secondary School, Jangebe, in the Talata Mafara local government area of Zamfara State. Bandits who pretended to be security operatives arrived in the school around 1 a.m. in Hilux vehicles and motorcycles and forcefully evacuated the students from their hostels. On the 11th of March 2021, 39 more students were kidnapped in Kaduna. 39 more students were kidnapped in Kaduna. The abduction of students in northern Nigeria intensified, and on the 11th of March, gunmen kidnapped 39 students of the Federal College of Forestry Mechanization, Afaka, in the Igbabi local government area in Kaduna State. It was the third attack on a school by bandits in 2021. What happened on the 18th of April 2021? While Nigerians were celebrating Easter Monday on the 18th of April, gunmen invaded the Owerri Correctional Center and freed about 1,884 inmates. The armed group, which arrived in pickup trucks and on buses carrying rocket-propelled grenades, the RPGs, machine guns, and rifles, also attacked the Imo State Police Command in Owerri and raised no fewer than 50 vehicles. On the 20th of April 2021, bandits also abducted 20 students and 2 workers at Greenfield University, Kaduna. About 5 of them were later killed, while the rest were freed after reportedly paying a ransom. One of the parents of the victims said 180 million naira was paid to the abductors of the university students kidnapped over a month. He said a total of 10 motorcycles were also given to the kidnappers as part of ransom to secure the release of the students. And the Kaduna State government, however, argued that paying ransom would only embolden bandits. On the 16th of May 2021, we had some good news. Enough of the kidnap and the abductions. Super Falcons captain Asisat Oshoala became the first ever African woman to win the UEFA Champions League after coming on in the 71st minute as Barcelona, the female team, beat Chelsea female team by 4-0 in the final of Europe's #1 women's football club competition. The 4-time African Women's Footballer of the Year enjoyed a perfect year with Barcelona, helping them win the treble for the first time in the club's history. And then we go back again. Some days after, precisely about 5 days after, on the 21st of May, the Chief of Army Staff died. The country was thrown into mourning with the death of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Matairu, and 10 others. His death for weeks dominated conversations in the country. This was also fueled by the failure of the president, Muhammad Buhari, to attend the funeral of the late army chief despite being in the country. Atairu, who had barely spent 5 months in office, died in a NAF Beechcraft B300 King Air 350I near Kaduna International Airport. While an interim report into the crash has been submitted, Nigerians still await the final report, which the Nigerian Air Force promised to make public. We still await that. On the 25th of May 2021, 25th of May, the Central Bank of Nigeria adopted the NAFEX, or Investors and Exporters Rate, of 410 naira 25 kobo per dollar as the government's official exchange rate. It made this known when it updated its website with the NAFEX rate almost 2 weeks after it raised its previous official exchange rate of 379 naira to a dollar from the site. Consequently, the Apex Bank devalued the naira by 7.6%. This move was considered an effort by the government to unify the two exchange rates that exists in the country, the official and the parallel market rates. Reacting to that development, many financial experts condemned the decision of the central bank, warning that the action will drive inflation and increase the poverty level in the country. Since the adoption, the NAFEX rate has oscillated and is currently pegged at 411 naira to a dollar, on the bank's official website. We'll go on a break, and when we come back, I'll still reel out more of these events. Remember, I stopped on the 25th of May. What happened in Nigeria on the 30th of May? You get to hear that after this break. Stay tuned, don't go away. It's still the Podium on 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. You can go live on Facebook and drop your comments while I reel out these events. Don't go away. I am CHIKE OGBOGU.
Tabani koko wa oleza, tabani koko oleza. Olegani koko wa olafini, olegani koko wa lafini. Kama fi uti udako yoko, olegani la keji koko oleza.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe mọ̀ wípé ojú lalákàn fi ń ṣọ́rí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni tójú tì yẹ́ làparò fi ń ríran. Ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ o fẹ́yìn èèyàn rere ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fọ̀rọ̀ ààbò ṣe òṣèlú o. Torí wípé òjò bẹ́nìkan ṣọ̀tá ẹni ejírí lejì ń pa. Ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọ̀daràn jàǹdùkú agbébọn gbẹ̀yàn. Ìdí sì nìyí tí amòfin Akeem Ọláníyì Àpọ́nmọ́dẹ̀ ń rọ̀ wá wípé ètò ààbò wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ gbogbo wa lọ́kàn o. Tàbá wá rí ẹnikẹ́ni láyìíká wa tí ìrìn ẹsẹ̀ rẹ̀ mú ìfura lọ́wọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká tètè fi tó àwọn agbófinró létí lẹ́yìn ọ̀ṣọ́kà torí wípé ó ń bọ̀ àmójútó ló gbà o. Amòfin Akeem Ọláníyì Àpọ́nmọ́dẹ̀ ló ń sọ wípé ẹ jẹ́ ká pawọ́pọ̀ gbárùkù ti ìjọba Ṣèyí Mákindé lórí ètò ààbò kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ lè sùn wá bọ̀ yóò ṣeé ṣe o.
Ǹjẹ́ ẹ ti gbọ́? Jadu Bands ní ibùdó àwọn ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé electronics àti appliances. Ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ti sọ ayédèrú pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé amáyédẹrùn. Àmọ́ wá ṣe kókó ká lẹ́ni tó ṣe é gbójúlé fún ríra àwọn ẹ̀rọ wọ̀nyí ká má bàa kó sọ́wọ́ àwọn onígbàrọ̀ gùdù tí ń ta electronics òfegè. Jadu Bands ní kẹ́ẹ̀tọ́ lọ fún àwọn ojúlówó home appliances, games àti accessories, sound system, smart TV, phones àti iPhone wristwatches. A tún tà a sì ń ra àwọn iPhone onírúurú bóyá titun àbí UK used. Àǹfààní easy buy ṣí sílẹ̀ fún yín nígbà tẹ́ bá ń ra Android phones lọ́dọ̀ wa. Ẹ kàn sí wa lórí www.jadubands.com. Ọ́fíìsì wa wà ní Merchant Building ládojúkọ Queen Cinema Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. A sì tún ní ẹ̀ka ní Òṣogbo. Ẹ pè wá sórí 081-0816-600-9112 àti 0704-385-1816. Email address wa ní jadubandseCurrency@gmail.com. Ríra ojúlówó ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé lówó pọ́ọ́kú ti dìrọ̀rùn pẹ̀lú Jadu Bands.
Ọ̀rọ̀ jáde lọ́lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀, àṣẹ tẹ̀lé wọn jọ.
Àdúrà wòlíì ọ̀gànjọ́ òru lórí ìkànnì yìí 32 FM 94.9 láàrin aago 12 sáago kan òru ní wòlíì Ọlọ́run alààyè Prọfẹ̀sà Àmójú Authority bàbá orí òkè ògo ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi àṣírí ayé ẹni pẹ̀lú ọ̀nà àbáyọ yóò fi máa sọ̀rọ̀ àṣẹ súre fún gbogbo ènìyàn lọ́gànjọ́. Àdúrà wòlíì ọ̀gànjọ́ òru lórí ètò yìí ní àṣẹ ọ̀rọ̀ látẹnu wòlíì Àmójú Authority yóò fi máa lé gbogbo ogun tó tòru dẹ̀dẹ̀ wọlé jáde. Àǹfààní ìtúsílẹ̀ lórí afẹ́fẹ́ lè yí o. Ìwọ náà darapọ̀ lóru òní fún ìrìn agbára tó máa darí ọ̀rọ̀ òwúrọ̀ lásáyé rẹ̀ látẹnu wòlíì Àmójú Authority bàbá orí òkè ògo. Àìgbọ́dọ̀ má gbọ́ làdúà ọ̀gànjọ́ òru lálẹ́ òní fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ àdúà 081-1232-2222. Orí òkè ògo àṣejìrẹ́ opposite Coca-Cola àṣejìrẹ́ ńbàdàn lóṣù nígbàwọ́ ẹ̀. Àdúà wòlíì ọ̀gànjọ́ òru testimony tó tẹ̀lé ìwọ ló ní.
Safa sapeli sizwe simnyama Iwasafa
Isizwe saba
Kavula mo
Anechaleni ko kelize.
As the clouds go gray, from the roars and the earth sings, the season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way. For the pouring of my blessings, I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it, dance. In the rain, it's for my seed to grow. For every prayer and every seed I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be afraid.
The land will be green. The land is green. That's T.Y. Bello there singing. Before we went on the break, I was reading out events that shaped Nigeria in the year 2021. On the 30th of May 2021, at least 200 students of Islamia School located at Tegina in the Rafi local government area of Niger State were abducted. One person was said to have been shot dead, while another was critically injured after gunmen carried out the kidnap operation at about 4:30 p.m. The victims remained in captivity for 3 months before they were released on the 26th of August 2021. Let's move to June 2021. On the 5th of June 2021, the General Overseer of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, Prophet Temitope Joshua, popularly known as TB Joshua, died on Saturday, the 5th of June 2021, just 7 days to his 58th birthday. His death increased the church's social media following by over 600,000, and the week-long burial, which was held in July 2021 at the church in Ikotun, Lagos, was met by an outpouring of millions of testimonies and tributes from over 195 countries of the world. Still on June 5, 2021, very remarkable for social media users. The social media platform Twitter was suspended by the Nigerian government barely days after it deleted a controversial tweet by the president, Muhammadu Buhari. In a post in response to the incessant destruction of election offices in the southeast, Buhari threatened that he would speak to those misbehaving in a language they understood, a tweet that made reference to the Biafra War. The tweet, which was perceived as a threat, violated the Twitter violence rule, which prohibits any user from threatening an individual or a group of people. The suspension took effect from the 5th of June 2021, when telecommunication companies barred Nigerians from accessing the platform. The decision of the government was met with criticisms from the United States, the United Kingdom, and many human rights groups. Moving forward 5 days after, on the 10th of June 2021, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the Lagos-Ibadan Railway service at the Mobolaji Johnson Railway Station, Ebute Metta in Lagos. President Buhari had described the feat as another milestone in the drive of this administration to revitalize the railway system and establish it as a choice mode of transportation for both passengers and freight. On the 17th of June 2021, another sad day, the abduction of students continued when armed attackers killed a police officer and kidnapped at least 80 students and 5 teachers from the federal government college Benin Yorin in Kebbi State. 30 of the students were released 4 months later, while 5 others and a teacher were rescued by the military. The fate of the others remain unknown till date. On the 29th of June 2021, out of the blues, the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, announced that international collaborative efforts with security agencies led to the arrest and repatriation of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, to Nigeria. He did not state the country or give details of his arrest. Kanu had fled the country in September 2017 after an invasion of his home by the military in Afaruku near Umuahia, Abia State. Although the brother of the IPOB leader, Kingsley Kanu, alleged that his brother was apprehended in Kenya and subjected to extraordinary rendition, a claim the Kenyan High Commissioner to Nigeria, Wilfred Machage, denied. What happened on the 1st of July here in Ibadan? The Department of State Services announced that it raided the Ibadan home of Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, which led to the death of 2 of Igbo's aides and arrest of 13 others. On the 5th of July 2021, gunmen abducted 140 school children after storming the Bethel Baptist High School in Kaduna State on July the 5th. This officially brought the number of abducted students in 2021 to over 1,000. On the 19th of July 2021, after fleeing Nigeria, Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho, was arrested at the Kajion Airport in Cotonou, Benin Republic, while on his way to Germany on the 19th of July. On the 28th of July 2021, 10 Nigerian athletes, Knowledge Omovo, Ruth Usoro, Favor Ofili, Rosemary Chukuma, Glory Patrick, Yinka Jayi, Tima Godbless, Chidi Okezie, Chioma Onyekwere, and Annette Echi Nuhuoke, who were to compete in track and field events, were disqualified on the 28th of July, days before the start of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Some of those events that took place in the year 2021. With me in the studio this morning, I have a former deputy gubernatorial candidate of the ADP in Oyo State. He was the running mate to Chief Alawa Akala in the 2019 general gubernatorial elections in Oyo State. I have Professor Abidin Olaya in the studios of 32 FM 94.9. Prof, good morning, and it's good to have you. Happy New Year.
Good morning, same to you. Compliment of the season, the listeners at home. I'm happy to be with you.
Thank you. How was your trip from Lagos?
Yes, Alhamdulillah, we thank God.
The road was smooth, right?
Yes, there was no any disturbance on the road.
Wow, interesting.
In fact, we are having the glimpse of at least a breed of governance in that road.
So this present administration has done well.
Yeah, at least on that road.
On that road,
that Lagos Ibadan.
Wow,
it's getting better now.
Wow, yeah, one of those politicians that come out to say the truth, as it is.
Yeah.
Interesting. How's it been with you all the while? Some will say you've been staying on the ground for a while politically. Nobody has heard of Professor Abidin Olaya. The only thing we know is that you're always in Abeokuta lecturing those students.
Yes, what we need today is any sane person that is existing in this part of the world must rise up to participate actively in the development of the nation through leadership. One of the major problems that we have in this country is leadership. The process that through all people to become leaders in our system has not been anything
to write home about.
To write home about.
Leadership.
Yes,
it's a problem.
It's the major problem.
Major problem.
Yes.
Some will say followership is the problem.
No. It's the leadership.
So if the leader does well,
leads,
the followers will do. Interesting. So you've been leading very well. You've not retired from.
Yes,
politics.
I'm so much concerned about the process that threw up people to become leaders.
Talking about leadership, How is the ADP? Are you still with the ADP?
I'm no longer with the ADP.
Yeah, because
an ultimate to that 2019 election, we had an agreement that made us to team up with APC.
With the APC?
Yes.
But you didn't have a formal movement?
That time, there wasn't any formal movement. But immediately after the election, we moved formally to APC.
You are now a member of the APC?
Of course, yes.
A bona fide member of the APC?
Yes.
Oh, you joined Chief Alawa Kala in the APC?
Yes, we moved together.
You moved together?
At that time.
Moving together, let's look at the APC from the national level and looking at the governance. You talked about leadership. Let's start with this discourse now from the federal level. What's the implication of President Buhari's refusal to assent to the electoral bill?
Well, there is need for us to improve, just like the National Assembly did to the electoral bill.
Yeah,
they made a lot of significant improvement in what we have since 1999.
Okay,
and I give kudos to the current assembly for daring that, because people have always been moving away. So all the successive governments we've been having, they have always been moving away from anything that they feel will rock the boat. But this current National Assembly, they took the bull by the horn. They dissected all the content of the Electoral Act, and they passed it on to the president for assent. However, the major contention that made the president to return it to them is the issue of
direct or indirect
primaries.
Was that the major contention?
That is the major contention.
What of the electronic transmission of results?
The electronic transmission,
part of it?
It is part of it.
Shouldn't it be a major issue?
No, it's not major. In the sense that there is a schedule and a calculated attempt by INEC to transmit from manual to electronic. And they have been doing hybrid. The issue there is that the National Assembly, for them to have adopted that the electronic method of transferring of the result and whatever should be done is accepted by everybody. The only thing is that it should be piecemeal. It's just like the time when we develop this digital banking and all these things. You know, up to today, we don't totally throw away analog.
Yes.
Because anything can happen. Our system has not been that robust enough.
The analog system should be a backup, right?
A backup.
Okay.
So that one doesn't have any problem.
But the direct and indirect primaries.
That direct and indirect is the one. And what the president did, I think I want to also give it to him, that he did well. He did not reject direct primary as proposed by the National Assembly.
Okay.
It's not as if he rejected it. He said, let each party decide on the mode of primaries they want to use in selecting their leaders.
In 2019.
So in which case, any party that felt the mode we want to use is direct, let them put it in their own record and they use it. Those who felt indirect is the one that they want to use, let them also use indirect.
It shouldn't be imposed on any political party.
That is what he said. Because by the time they put it into the Constitution and the Electoral Act now, it becomes
binding. It becomes a law
to all the parties.
All political parties.
So he played that wisdom by saying, I'm not rejecting this thing totally, but let it be the volition of each party to decide which mode they want to use in selecting their representative.
In 2019, prior to the elections, you emerged as a running mate to the then Chief Adebayo Alawa Akala in the ADP.
Yes.
You went through the indirect primaries.
Yes.
To emerge as candidates in the ADP.
Yes.
Did it favor you people then?
Yeah, it did.
Now you are in the APC. Will APC go through direct or indirect primaries?
It depends. In our state, they use, in 2019, they use indirect. But in our state, in APC that use direct. So it depends on the executive of the party. We throw it before the members of the party that which method do you want us to use. So it is even possible in one state they use direct and in another state they use indirect, especially if the party decided that each state should decide the mode they want to use in selecting their...
Shouldn't we have a uniform electoral process in Nigeria for credibility's sake?
It will take some time. You see, when you are talking about uniformity in a diverse environment, you need time to build consensus. Because if you don't take that normal time to build consensus, it will be taken as imposition. And imposition will not last. It will be as accepted for a strong leader when you have a strong leader. But the leadership of a party is also dynamics. So immediately you had a change of leadership, another person will say, no, I don't want it. So there is need for in a period, a gap, to build consensus on which one we want to use.
Talking about consensus and talking about Oyo State, APC, PDP in Oyo State, what is your assessment of the state government led by Engineer Seyi Makinde so far?
Well,
devoid of your party inclination.
Devoid of political or whatever inclination.
Yes.
Engineer Seyi Makinde did well in terms of prompt payment of salary.
Okay.
He did well on that.
Okay.
Apart from payment of salary, I wouldn't know the other area that I can rate him above the last regime of APC in Oyo State.
Let me help you out. Let's look at education. Has
education,
he done well?
He has not done well. He has not done well.
Even despite creating free education for students.
No. There isn't anything like free education. What they did, like I said, I challenged him, Engineer Seyi Makinde, when he came in. I said, you and I, we attended secondary school at a period when some people were governors of Oyo State. Good enough, we were together. We are colleagues. Chief Bola Ige was the governor of Oyo State when we were in secondary school between 1979 and 1983. We were all in secondary school then. We knew what government did for us. I said, and I challenged him, that if you won't give more than what Chief Bola Ige gave to us, that made us to be what we are today, you should not do less. And he did less. So I will rate him.
How would you say he did less?
When we were getting to school.
Yes.
At that time.
Yes.
As soon as you are entering school like this, they give you tables and chairs that you are using. At that time, it is that time we knew what we call tear rubber. Because that chairs and tables and chairs, they came with rubber. It is the students
brand new. So you unfold the nylon
that we tear the rubber that they used to coat the tables. They are giving us complete set of textbooks for each subject. We are doing 13 subjects that time. For each of the subjects, we were giving complete set of textbook for each of the books that we are going to use. Not only that, they gave us a dozen of higher education that we are going to use to write our notes. All the teachers that we needed, the government employed them for us.
Okay.
They expanded infrastructure to the extent that when Chief Bola Ige came into Oyo State, there were only about 300 secondary schools in the entire Oyo State. That was Oyo and Osun they know. About 300. They created more space, more schools. It's not that they are bifurcating a school by giving them two different names. They created new schools. that doubles what they met. It's not that they are creating a mega school, 5 mega school or 2 mega school.
Or school 1, school 2,
school 1, school 2. No. They created new schools. In my area, in Malete, Okeado axis, we have double the number of schools that were in my area at that time. That all students were accommodated. And they were well provided, catered for. So that's what I said. That, fortunately, we were all in secondary school that time. I want this governor to give nothing less than. And for your information, let me tell you, they used to hide under some things. Things have gone beyond what it was in during Bola Ige era. This and that. There were more students in the school nowadays. That time, there were no private schools. In fact, I can count on my fingertips the number of private schools in Oyo State.
In Oyo State, there.
Almost all the schools at that particular point in time were public schools. Nowadays, private schools are more than public school, which means that more than half of the population of students in Oyo State have been absorbed by private schools. Only the downtrodden masses that cannot afford the fees that private schools were charging, that were taking their children. So they are left to be catered for by government. And government is also failing, even in catering for these few ones that were on their hands.
You joined the APC. What did the APC do prior to this present administration in the area of education?
Now, the APC, when they felt that they cannot run it totally free, they introduced 1,000 naira per term. 1,000
naira
per term.
Some were paying beyond that.
Excuse me.
Okay.
At least they identify a problem and they make attempt at solving the problem. The methodology by which they choose to address the problem may not be agreeable to everybody.
Yeah.
But they identify a problem and they made an attempt to solve it. Now, when this government came in, he said that should stop. That money were being used by the school advisory body that they were set up to take care of the sundry expenses that the school will need. That if they were to be waiting for approval from the Ministry of Education, it will take donkey years before that approval comes in. You can imagine a school wanting to buy chalk or marker. And they had to write letter. The principal had to write letter to the Commissioner of Education that we needed a marker. You know the number of days. You see, this school in the back, people who are many people who come to media place to talk. They talk as if every school is in Ibadan. Imagine a school in Shaki. So the principal will now courier the letter from Shaki to his LIA. His LIA in Shaki will now bring the letter to Ibadan. You know the number of days it will take. The LIA will not see PAMSEC, will not see, they will just drop the letter on the depot of one civil servant, maybe the clerical officer, then they start transporting the letter up and down. Will you tell the student that, we are expecting marker from government, so we are going to only dictate to you today? So the problem, they dissolve that methodology of collecting money without making proviso to solve the identified problem that money was going to be catered for. And that was what is happening in Oyo State now.
But the schools...
very recently when he reversed himself. The governor has reversed himself that the student will now be charged something as a maintenance or something. So what we are saying is that when you want to do things, you put your plan ahead. You don't just go and make political statements. And that was what happened also with local government. Local government administration, this government killed it for no reasons, for political reasons. And it is local government that is the closest arm of government to the populace. But whoever kills local government has killed governance.
When you say this administration killed local governments, the governor signed a local government administration autonomous bill into law, meaning that local governments are started on their own.
On paper.
On paper.
On paper.
But when the APC was in government, in the past dispensation, did you have local government elections?
No.
You had caretaker chairmen who were answerable to the executive above government.
Let me tell you, there is little difference. Even though I disagree with our APC running the government with caretaker.
Yeah.
But they had a luxury that time. The government has not put embargo on the assessing the local government funds by the caretaker committee. But this current government said any local government that doesn't have elected officials at the end of their affairs, nobody should touch their money.
And then there was a local government election.
There was local government election which became a subject of dispute. And the court said the government of Oyo State it was at fault. So
now, when you're looking at that dispute, is the dispute based on the election or the dispute was based on the Algon issue in Oyo State?
No, the dispute was based on election, in the sense that you cannot elect another people when the tenure of the incumbent is yet to be expired.
Okay.
Do you understand? They did it politically because they knew that members of APC will not participate because that election, as at the time they conducted it, was illegal. There is a subsisting local government. Though if they went ahead and participate, it means that they have accepted that they are no longer legal people.
Elected member.
So they do those hush, knowing that they will not. And now the government now said they should go and pay them, because as at the time you conduct the local government election, you have dissolved them, and what you have done is wrong. So local government too, or even now, when they have been properly allowed to run, we people who are in the grassroots knew that local government is not the same thing that we used to have. Only God knows what is happening with them. But the current local government executive that is working in Oyo State, they are just warming the chairs. You cannot lay onto a tangible project that they have been conducting.
Still on the assessment of this present administration, you are a crop scientist.
Yeah.
You are an agriculturist. What's your take on this present government's move on agriculture in Oyo State?
Well, it was what this media hype that the government put in place as agricultural development. You know,
what the media hype?
Media, you just audio something.
Audio?
Yes, because as at the time the government came in, he said they are going to develop agricultural sector to the extent that we are going to be self-sufficient in food enough, then we will be exporting the excess.
It's a process.
Excuse me.
It's a process.
For 2.5 years.
It's a process.
Out of 4 years, a process.
Akufo is being developed.
Have you been there?
Fashola is there.
Have you been there?
The rail line passes through Akufo.
Have you been there? I was there. There was nothing that can justify 7.5 billion that was taken in August 2019. The government took a loan of 7.5 billion to develop agriculture in Oyo State. 7.5 billion. And they were asked, what do you want to use? They said Akufo and Irua. They are going to use it to develop an agricultural sector there and there. I'm telling you, I've been there in Akufo. Apart from private farmers that are doing their job, and one foreign farmer that came and put on a tomato production
site.
That of Oyo State government, we have not seen anything coming out of it.
It's audio, right?
Audio. They have not been able to even provide maize. Maize will take 3 months. So since August 2019, we have not been able to say this is what is coming out of either Ibarapa farm settlement or Akufo farm settlement.
All right, somebody.
And government has taken another money since after that 7.5 billion.
Yeah.
They also said agricultural venture or agricultural produce intervention. Apart from paying salary, the only area that you can credit this government for is garages. They are sunken a lot of money. Garages is I don't know who told them that garage is the most important problem that we are facing in Oyo State.
Aderonke Akoede Oladele on Facebook is saying, good morning and happy new year to you. And he says, Governor Makinde has really given education sector in Oyo State a new shape and a new era. And she's also saying that Oyo State is topping the list in education for the likes of Lautech being ranked 4th in Nigeria, reducing our school fees in Lautech and being 11th position in the last WAEC. Kudos to GSM-led administration. Thank you. And Oakland, is saying APC spent good 8 years without local government elections. Why are you making noise now? I think he's not living in Ibadan. He's living in Lagos. That's coming from Oakland. Okay, you want to react to that?
Yeah. When the APC did not conduct election, you should go and check my profile very well. I was in the party and I am against it. I am a member of APC that time when Ajumabi came in. And when they did not conduct local government election, I criticized the government, which I am part of. So I'm not somebody who just talk anyhow. I talk to facts. I am not in tandem with my party for not conducting election over 8 years. When you are talking about Lautech being ranked 4th, when Seyi Makinde was the governor of Oyo State, and you want to use that one as an indicator of success or government, I want to challenge the person. Rank 4th against what when APC was in governance? What was the position of Lautech? Lautech has always been 4th in NUC ranking. It is not only, so, some people who doesn't know history, who doesn't follow what was on, they will be say, he has brought Lautech to 4th in NUC ranking, compared to what was it in the before now. Lautech has always been that. When Governor Seyi Makinde came into Lautech, immediately he came in there, we had this strike, the lecturer strike and COVID strike. So you couldn't have pointed out any tangible thing that Governor Seyi Makinde did in Lautech that would have qualified them to be improved in ranking. The only achievement they had was that the problem between Oyo and Osun, they resolved it amicably. That Oyo should take over and pay some bills to.
So you're saying the ranking in Lautech is.
It has always been that.
You say it's an audio one from this government.
It has, yes. It has always. Lautech has always been between 4th and 5th in NUC ranking.
You want to join this conversation, you have a question or two to ask my guest. My guest is Professor Abidin Olaya. He was the running mate to the Guba candidate of the ADP, now in the APC, Chief Adebayo Alao Akala, 070550949 and 080970949. 2 or 3 calls before we call it a wrap on this show. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Ola is my name. I'm calling from Ibadan.
All right, go ahead.
I just want to react to what the man is saying there. I know that man very well, you know, about attacking him or anything. But I want to put the record straight. The Lautech came first when Sumi got there. It was during this man, Ladoja, time that Lautech got that same position. And since then, Lautech has never got into that position again. And the man was saying that he did not see anything that the governor did. The governor has done so many things. Look at the pensioners. They got the 13-month salary. Likewise, the workers. Go to the Ondo State. They hold them plenty of money. Likewise, Osun, they hold them. And the APC government are the one that is control all those states. And this man will not be saying all the time he'll be attacking the government that has never seen anything that government did in Oyo State. to me and to the people of Oyo State, Makinde is trying and is performing. And what these people...
Okay, I have to let you go. Let others call in and to share their thoughts. You want to quickly react to that in like 10 seconds?
Like I said earlier on, it's like maybe he didn't listen at the beginning of this interview.
Or maybe because you said you are a member of the APC and that's why he's reacting.
Yes. I said, when you said what can I say about this government that they are doing well, I said in terms of salary, and the payment of this pensioner money, I commended him. So I've seen nothing different from what I've said. He said Lautech has not been fought before, and he is the same person that said that Lautech has came first before now. Okay, Prof. So how can you now say somebody that has been taken first before now, taking forth now becomes a celebration?
Okay, Prof, let's, before we wrap it up on the show this morning, let me ask you this question. You are in the APC now. 2022 is a very critical year ahead of the elections in 2023. Are you contesting any post in the APC? There are many gladiators, political bigwigs in the APC. What is your fate? Where do you stand in the APC?
Yes, 24 hours is too long in politics.
Yes.
And I can say that when we get to the bridge, we shall cross it. It is possible that I contest for one of the...
You want to become governor too?
I did, actually. I did. I want to. Because I believe I have idea for good governance of Oyo State.
Have you consulted the right people?
No, excuse me. When the time comes,
there's no time.
Excuse me. We are. You see, last time there were 22 people who aspired to become governor of Oyo State, and it is only one person.
Your party seems to be in disarray now. There's no unity among you.
There's no party that has unity. That is the way. That is the normal way we have been having in it in politics. It is only those who are looking at it from outside that used to cry foul.
What faction of the APC are you?
That.
What faction of the APC do you belong to? Do you belong to the Omodewu faction, or do you belong to the Chief Akionke faction?
We didn't have that kind of faction yet.
Are you with the Teslim Folari side, or are you with Alawa Kala side?
It's Teslim Folari or Alawa Kala and Baba Akionke faction in APC.
They seem not to agree.
Adebayo Alawa Kala is the leader of APC in
Oyo State.
And I'm with him.
You are with him?
Yeah.
You are with him?
Yes.
It's good to have you on the podium this
welcome.
morning.
Thank you very much.
It was a short one, but I think we did justice to it this morning.
Yeah.
My guest has been Professor Abidin Olaiya. He's a professor of crop science at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Also a running mate to Chief Adebayo Alawa Kala in 2019 under the ADP. Next week will be another time for the podium. Next week seems to be very explosive. Who will be my guest? Keep your fingers crossed. My name is CHIKE OGBOGU. Enjoy the new year, and may the grace of God be with you all. Bye for now.
32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.